Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and here on my channel I post lifestyle, university, physiotherapy related content. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell to all so you never miss a video. Today's video, obviously, I'm going to review my first semester at the University of Birmingham. I'm going to do that in different categories such as classes, making friends, societies, and the university overall, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to start off with classes. So, as you know, or if you don't know, if you're new here, welcome, hello. I study MSc Physiotherapy at the University of Birmingham, and I took 4 modules this semester. So this semester I took evidence-based musculoskeletal practice, which will also carry on to next semester. The rest of these will not carry on to next semester, but I took research methods, transition to physiotherapy, and therapeutic rehabilitation. My timetable for the week, on your average week of the semester, would look like on Monday I would have an 11 till 12 with research methods, then 12 to 1 with transition to physiotherapy, and then 3 till 5 with musculoskeletal practice. And then on Tuesday it would be the musculoskeletal practice practical at 9 in the morning. Then Wednesday at 9 or 10 in the morning, depending on the week, I would have therapeutic rehabilitation practical, and then I'd have Thursday off, and Friday at 9 in the morning I would have my transition to physiotherapy seminar. So that was my average week. Timetable wise, I'm gonna be honest with you, there were issues with the timetable. So at the start of the semester, the timetable was messing about on the app. I don't know whether it was just the app or just someone above that didn't sort the timetable out. But the timetable was a mess. Some people, it would tell them they have class on this day, other modules wouldn't show up. Certain days it would be like, no, you're not in on this day, but you know full well you have a class that day. It was a bit messy. So what they decided to do is get the administrator to put out like a PDF, Excel spreadsheet type thing to let us know the timetable for the whole semester. So we all followed by that instead, because it was obviously easier to organize yourself based on something structured, unlike the app. But I did notice towards the end of the semester the app did start to sync up with our actual timetable, so that was actually pretty good in that sense. I felt like even though there was a lot of confusion at first, after a while they did start to deal with it properly. But yeah, so that was the thing with the timetable. We did have some issues still once we had the PDF out though, where especially with the therapeutic rehabilitation module, where it'd be like, okay, you have class at 10 on this week, but then the teacher would think we have class at 9, and then obviously no one's there because we've been told we have class at 10, but the only few people there may be sitting in the lobby waiting until 10 o'clock, and then we get a message on the group chat being like, okay, the teacher wants us here by 9:30, and everybody's like, but we were told class. So it's like little things like that. I think a lot of the issues I'm gonna share here could literally just be resolved with some good communication between like the teachers and us, and the teachers and themselves. For example, all the modules obviously relate to each other in some aspect or the other. Like, for example, the ones that closely relate to each other are therapeutic rehabilitation and evidence-based musculoskeletal practice. So sometimes you'd find certain content overlaps. For example, we had a lecture recently, we had a seminar recently, practical thing recently for therapeutic rehabilitation, where we were doing joint mobilization. We were mobilizing the patella. So we did mobilization of the patella and the patellofemoral joint, all that basically stuff. We did all of that in MSK when we were looking at the knee 2 weeks or so prior to this practical class. So we did that stuff, and obviously we're using the same techniques. I don't believe the teacher was aware that we had done this already. So it was kind of just like, okay, I suppose this is a good chance for us to, refresh our memory in that sense. That's a good thing. But the only downside is that because the class is 2 hours, a 2-hour practical, we spent so much time on the patella, and then towards the end of the class, the teacher showed us how to mobilize the shoulder and the elbow, and we got to try the elbow one, but realistically we don't know what we're really doing because we've only learned the lower body, because next semester we're doing the upper body. But I think the confusion there is that we get often mixed up with the undergrads, in my opinion, because they'll ask us something that the undergrads would know because they've done the upper body. And don't get me wrong, I understand with postgraduates and then we have to do an element of teaching ourselves, but unless you tell me where I have to teach myself, someone could go completely off the spectrum and go way off, you know what I mean, into stuff they don't need to go into. So I'm kind of like a little bit more guidance would be helpful there in that sense. But yeah, so we spent a little bit of time on the elbow. Most of us didn't even know what we were doing because we didn't know what we were working with. But then he showed us one on the shoulder just before we were leaving, but we didn't even get to practice it because we spent more time on the patella. And my thing is, if there was a little bit more communication between the modules and all of that, it would be clear that, okay, we had done the patella before. The patella's pretty easy. It's literally just lateral glide, APPA kind of stuff. And then it's like, all right, cool, we've done that. Let's just hop onto something new. So we're gaining something new. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of just like, if in the exam we get asked to apply the technique onto another aspect of the body, we're kind of screwed because we don't know how to do that. Yeah. But anyway, that's class-wise. But overall, I've been enjoying my classes. During the content, I'm really glad that I'm on this degree, and it's definitely the path I want to take. So the next category is the city. I know I'm just hopping all over the place, but the city. So the city of Birmingham, as you've already realized, I haven't really explored Birmingham too much. It is cold right now, so I'm kind of waiting until the spring, summery time to explore more of Birmingham when it's slightly warmer. Because when it's winter and that, the wind is blowing a little bit stronger than I'm accustomed to, I'm like, no. Or I've been in the library a lot, to be honest. So city-wise, all I can really speak on is the Bullring and the train station, because that's literally the only places I go to other than the house and the university. So I'd say for the Bullring is actually pretty nice. You get a good amount of shops around there, decent shopping. I think you don't really need any more, to be honest. So if you're really into shopping, this is a good place for you. I think Birmingham would be nice, like a day trip to come shopping. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want. You get a nice variety in different cities anyway. So like some stuff I can't get here in London, I can get up there in Birmingham. So that's the nice side of things. I'd say train station, really beautiful. That train station, to the most part, pretty efficient. Like, I don't really have any issues with the train station. I'm there every week. So, yeah. I haven't really had any big issues with me getting my train home to London. But yeah, so not too bad on that side of things. In terms of making friends, I'd say making friends, I'm not gonna lie to you, I found it hard at first. I felt like in the first couple of weeks that everybody had it was a bit strange. It felt like everybody, maybe it's because I went up, I think I moved up a little later than other people. Other people moved up earlier than me, but I was still here in London working. And I felt like everybody created their bonds and they were already just cool, tight as glue. That was how it appeared from the outside. Like everybody was as tight as there was no even attempting to get to know anyone. But then I think what eased it in my mind, and maybe I was just perceiving it wrong, but practicals really helped, because in practicals, obviously you're hands-on with other people. You got to get to know people. It's just going to be awkward with someone being all over you in class like that. So I felt practicals really helped me make friends, and now I have my friendship group and stuff, and it's going very well in that sense, but it wasn't easy at first. So yeah, because I think the thing with postgrad, similar to undergrad, people either know people they came with and stuff like that, or they're familiar with the area, or they commute. They're more likely to commute. Everybody has a life outside of uni. So yeah, speaking of life outside of university, that's one other thing I have to say about the university. It was ever so slightly annoying with how the timetable has been laid out, because we've all got a little smidge of what we can see for second semester, and it looks like it's going to be pretty full on. Don't get me wrong, I understand that next semester we're going to do 2 heavy modules that be add-on, like neuro and cardiorespiratory, but that's another video. But my point is, I'm kind of just the course is kind of advertised as something that you could do alongside your regular life, so you wouldn't be in every day pretty much. And I'm kind of just but now you're going back on that, you're backtracking. Anyway, now I've gone off track. So yeah, the friendship thing is going well. I just say that. The other thing I say, workload. Let's go back to communication. Workload would be easier to balance if the communication was better. The workload isn't too bad in the sense of you're just literally going to the lectures, attending the seminars throughout the weeks, and then towards the end you hand in your assignment, your essay, blah, blah, blah. I like that. But what I don't like is that little things that have been known for months or from when we started the course are being dropped on us last minute, in my opinion. Like, for example, we have to arrange this learning placement, this service learning placement where we volunteer and whatever. We have to let them know by the start of the new semester. Well, not even by the new semester. By the time we come back after Christmas about, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. But you told us with what? Basically close to the end of the semester, in my opinion. And I'm like, okay, I understand it. There may have been some confusion of when exactly it was going to happen, but at least give us a rough idea before when you knew about it, which was probably when we started the course. little things like that. I'm like, you're adding little things on our plate, and then you ask us to be like, oh, do this when you have time. Who has time? When am I going to have time? Literally, I've said numerous cases, like, the thing, I don't have an issue with the course itself. It's just the way the communication is affecting everybody. Because I'm like, if you don't communicate, I just basically just say, I'm a very organized person. I don't like to be knocked off my organization schedule. You knock me off my schedule, you screw with me. And in the sense of, I'm just a mess when I don't have a schedule. So when someone throws something in last minute into my pot, I don't appreciate it, because I'm kind of just like, unless I'm prepared, like obviously in the field of like physio, I'd be prepared to get things thrown at me last minute, because I expect that. I don't expect that when I'm paying this much, you know what I mean? Or I don't expect that when I assumed that I was told everything. So it's a little bit frustrating there. So like little things I now have to do over Christmas because they were thrown at me. But it is what it is in that sense. That's all I have to say on that. Is that if things were communicated better, it'd be easier to balance themselves. And I'm lucky I work on the weekends, because if I didn't, I'd be very annoyed. Anyway, on a brighter note, let's go into societies. So societies that ECU joined, the university has a lot of societies available, which I'm part of 3 different societies. So the main society I'm actually active in is Bench Ball Society, and congratulations to me, because I've just, well, this week, I found out I'm going to be the new publicity officer for the bench ball committee. So I'm like, yeah. So that's awesome, because I really enjoy bench ball. I go every Thursday. I would attend Sunday sessions. I've only been to 1 though, but because I work, I can't really, I don't have time to go. I don't get back on time on Sundays for that. I'm part of that, part of Physio Society. They just do some talks sometimes. I haven't really participated in anything Physio Society runs. It's just kind of a good thing to be a part of, I think. And then to be a part of Physio Society, you had to get a membership for MedSoc. So I'm part of MedSoc as well. So yeah, but if you're not interested in that, there's so many societies, and I say it's a really great way to meet people. If I didn't have bench ball, I don't know what I'd be doing with my Thursdays. I think it keeps me sane, it gets me out of the house, and it gets me connecting with other people beyond my course, because I don't really have that opportunity to do so within like just walking around campus. So I really enjoy bench ball, and I owe it a lot for my happiness during the semester. So yeah, hence why I applied to be on the committee. But yeah, I'd say that's with that. I'm just looking at my list to see if there's anything else that I want to cover in this. If you have any other questions, just let me know, but I'm just going to wrap this up. So overall, I would say, yeah, I have enjoyed my first semester at the University of Birmingham. Little things that have wound me up is obviously communication, the timetable being a little bit of a mess, but that could be easily brushed over, and hopefully I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that next semester that'll be sorted out. And I'm just saying maybe it's because of COVID, and obviously they weren't teaching in person for months, as to why this was really bumpy at first, but hopefully everything can be smoothed out. Friendship wise, I enjoy making the friends, and I really look forward to learning my neuro and my cardio-respiratory next semester. But if you enjoyed this video about my semester review, or if you have any comments, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.